This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so it's being recorded now, so we're ready to get going?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. So thanks for
Okay.
waiting.
All right, so let me go ahead and read the right to know law meeting checklist for the COVID standards. I mean, I guess we're meeting in person, that's available.
We're kind of on a hybrid, so
Yeah,
no pressure.
okay. Well, I'll go ahead and read this, and just I'll preface it with that there is in-person attendance available, but as it's printed out here, as a chair of the Tilton Zoning Board of Adjustments due to the COVID-19 coronavirus crisis, and in accordance with Governor Sununu's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this board is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location. I guess that would need to be changed. There is a physical location. And there's also the electronic option. And observe and listen contemporaneously to the meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, this is to confirm that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone, and in addition, additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means, along with in person there in the town hall. All members of the Tilton Zoning Board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing phone number. There's a PIN provided, 811-952-2553, and also being there in person again. Providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting via our website, the town website, and a town kiosk located outside town hall. Also providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anybody has problems with access, please call 617-286-4206 or email web@tiltonnh.org, both of which will be monitored during the meeting. And adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, we will adjourn the meeting and have it rescheduled at a different time. If you are a member of the public listening in and have questions, or if you are a member of the public and at the meeting there at the town hall, please write your question down. We will make time for the public to provide comment and ask questions. Please note all votes that are taken during this meeting will be done by roll call vote. So with that out of the way, so let's start the meeting, and we've got 3 board members all present electronically. Take a roll call.
Eric Husinger.
Eric, unmute your mic, Eric.
I am here.
Okay.
Brian Chapman
I'm here.
and Jim Engel.
I'm here also. Now, do we also have to mention if there's anyone in the room with you?
I have no one present in the room with me.
No one present in my room.
Same here, no one present with me. Okay, so that's the board members that are present. Is there anyone, only because I can't see everybody, they're in town hall? Are there abutters present there in town hall?
No one's present.
Okay.
Land use coordinator, Janice Dilcoach, and she is the land use technician taking the minutes. And Mr. John Bernard is the applicant, and he is here to present, and he has his presentation up front.
Okay, great, thank you. So moving forward with the agenda. I've called the meeting to order, and the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. So to the board members, has everybody had the opportunity to read the minutes that were sent out?
Didn't we not have a meeting last month?
Correct, we did not.
So
The minutes are actually from the previous meeting because we didn't meet last month, so we
Oh,
couldn't vote
yeah,
on them.
sure.
So it was the previous one.
For the Ravels project?
Correct.
I did not read them, honestly, so I would
Okay.
say no.
Okay.
I've read them.
And I have read them also, but we can wait until next meeting to vote on them.
Yeah. No.
Leanne, want to do that?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. What was
That's
it?
okay. We're going to go ahead and wait until the next meeting to approve the minutes and to vote on the minutes.
Can someone make a motion to table them then, please?
Okay. I make a motion that we wait until the next meeting, the regular scheduled meeting, to vote on the minutes of June 16th, 2020.
Motion to table to the September.
I second it.
Motion to table? Okay.
I second it.
Okay. That was Eric, yep. And
Yeah, that was there.
do we vote on that motion or is it just?
Yeah, it's a absolutely. So on the roll call, Brian Chapman
I'm okay with it.
and Eric Musinger
I vote to table it.
and Jim Engel.
Same here, I vote to table it.
Great. The next thing is Mr. Bernard.
Okay. So with that taken care of, we're moving on to public hearing and case ZBA 2004, which is the 216 Laconia Road LLC. And is it, so both cases, ZBA 2004 and 2005, same person? Same applicant, is that correct?
2005 is signed, but they're not here and they never submitted their final paperwork. So we only have the one case, Mr. Bernard at 16 Laconia Road.
Okay, so we're just doing the 2004 case tonight. Okay, so with that, let's move on to case 2004 and go ahead.
I don't know if you can see the stand and here.
I can't hear him now.
Yeah, we're not able to hear.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up here and now
Okay.
you should be able to hear me. Is that correct?
I can
Yeah,
hear
that's
you,
fine.
yes.
Yeah.
So my name is John Bernard. I'm the owner of 216 Laconia Road LLC. And I'm asking for a variance because of the setbacks in that area. There's a building that I would be pointing to on the plan that was existing, was demolished. So we have started to put the foundation in there. But after completing it, we realized that it's just too small of a building. And so we're asking to double the size of it. If you notice it, we're moving away from the setbacks. And that's that is the reason why I'm here, is because of a setback issue. In that particular zone, in that general commercial district, the setbacks are 50 feet, which is reasonable for large lots like the ones that we have Hobby Lobby on, Tanger Outlets, Tilton Auto Serve, and Home Depot. Those buildings are large and they do require 50-foot setbacks, and it makes sense. But on these smaller lots that have been left, and I think there's only 5 or 6, if I'm correct, in this zone, the 50-foot setbacks does not allow it to work. It makes it for a very odd looking building envelope that I can build in. If you see that, that's the triangular piece. And then if you can also see the one that was outlined in blue, That's where we have existing rights to build in now. And then thirdly, you'll see the one with yellow with the slash marks. That is where I am in non-conforming and asking for the variance. But I would also point out again in this, we're asking for it, but it's less non-conforming than more non-conforming. In other words, we're moving away from the setbacks. So I'm gonna ask for, is there any questions at this point? And then I'll run through the different facts that we have to do to make it for the hardship.
Okay. Yeah, I do have a few questions. And then Eric, I see that you have a few questions. I'll get to you in a moment.
Yeah. Maybe you'll ask them.
Yeah, maybe so. So just to clarify, looking at the plan,
Yep.
the triangle that is red, dotted, that is what you would have to build within to be within your complete setbacks. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Going to the existing building, the one in blue, it's going to be completely demolished?
It has been, yes. I've already taken
Oh, it
it
has
down.
been. Okay.
Yep.
And are you going to take up that existing footprint and the new footprint to the left of that?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to take up the blue, the yellow, and the area that is within the red triangle. That will all be a new building.
That's correct. There's already, the building has been demolished and mitigated, and we've put the foundation in on that blue area that is already existing, a new foundation.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I had. Eric, did I ask the questions you had?
You actually did. And so, when he was stating he was moving away from what would be an edge of his property there, I didn't realize also that it would include the old building too. So it's basically doubling the size.
Right, okay.
Correct. From a 1,000 square foot building to a 2,000 square foot building.
Okay.
Right.
Brian, any questions?
And I just want to clarify one more thing. Kimmy, back here?
I'll hold that. You can go back.
I do. Actually, we just lost Brian.
Oh, did he freeze?
Um,
I see him, but I don't know if he froze or not.
yeah.
He's there.
Okay, there he is. Okay, he's back. All right, he wasn't on my screen. Okay.
Jim, I just wanted a little bit of clarification on it. So the
Yes.
existing building that he took down was already encroaching on the setbacks, obviously, as you can see. So that makes the lot and the building's already non-conforming.
Correct. Understood.
Okay, so he's also expanding an already existing non-conforming use. Okay, so that was, even though now he's not encroaching more in the setback, like he's going in the other direction, right? The existing building is the most encroached, if I'm saying that correctly. What he's adding now is the size, okay?
And for our understanding, if John wanted to, he could demolish the existing building, build on the existing footprint without making any changes and not have to request any variance because he's using the existing footprint, correct?
Right, correct. It's only because he's expanding a non-conforming use. Yep. And it's gonna,
understood. So
Could
really
you
no, go ahead, Eric.
Sorry. Could you point to the map? What side are you exactly talking about that is non-compliant in your building?
Just
the one
the
that's
yellow
going to
area.
join the two? Okay.
So really, in this discussion, that's all we're talking about is that yellow area.
That one little line there, because the front and back must be within the setbacks, right?
Correct.
And so you're really, on what you're looking at, it would be the closest side towards you, the one you have your finger on right now going up and down. That wall right there. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the variance really, I mean, it's probably somewhere in the vicinity of 500 square feet or something. It's not a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, Brian, any questions?
Turn your mic on, Brian.
Yeah, you're still muted, Brian.
It looks pretty cut and clear to me.
Okay. All right. So yeah, John, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna read through the application for the records, and then we all understand what this, for what anybody else would listen to this would be able to hear. And it
Understood.
says, the first one is, granting the variance would not be contrary to public interest because this lot is already located in the commercial district, and it is in keeping with the current building types in the area. And then 2, if the variance was granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed because the master plan does not allow for residential use in these lots anymore. It only allows for commercial buildings. So I am in keeping with what the town master plan requests and asks for. And then 3, granting the variance would do substantial justice because this variance is in keeping with the town master plan, and relief from the setback would allow small tracts of land to be developed within this commercial district. When the setbacks were established, they were intended for large tracts of lands, as I stated earlier. So by not allowing this, you basically were saying any small tract that was left over when they did this large master plan would be basically functionally off. And then 4, if the variance were granted, would the values of the surrounding properties be diminished? And I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say that, there's across the street at Rap City, you might all be aware of. I owned a small building over there and applied for a variance and built that. Before I paid taxes of about $1,800. After Rap City was built, the taxes went up to $12,000, which is evidence that the improving of the property increases the value, does not decrease values. Again, I think most of that is so you don't grant a variance that put a pig farm next to a residential development. And then on 5, unnecessary hardship. Owing to a special condition of a property that is diminished from other properties in the area, and denial of variance would result in unnecessary hardship because of the inherent shape of the lot and the required setbacks. The hardship would be to have to build this bizarre triangle-shaped building to be in compliance. So relief from the setback and moving the building away from the side setback is a more conforming use than what already exists. Lastly, it does not encroach on the setbacks that already exist. And the last thing I'm going to read is B, and it says, the size of the lot was created long before the zoning was established and when the zoning was implemented. A 50-foot setback is reasonable for the overall zone, not for individual lots. Please see the, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. So at this point, I think we'll open it up to public comment and make it available. If there is any public that would like to add comment, Leanne, is there anybody there?
No one's there.
Who's here? Just us.
No one's here? Okay. All right. And there's no one online, so no public comment at this point. So zoning board members, any additional thoughts, comments, questions?
I do have a thought. On the side of the building that is going to be non-compliant and you're asking for the simple variance for, and I agree with you. You got a weird lot there. On that side, yep, as towards your body, what exactly is located right where your thumb is? Meaning, is that residential? Have you creeped towards residential, or is that commercial right there?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the mic to respond.
Okay.
To that.
Thank you.
That is residential, and that's probably about 70 feet from the property line over. They have a residential. I know the woman. She's nice. She's been there for a long time. And her when I talked to her recently, she said that her husband was an optometrist, and at some point they were planning on putting in a commercial building in there, and that's why they bought that.
Okay.
So, and I just wanted, Eric, you mentioned that his plan is moving towards that residence, and I just want to clarify that's what I'm hearing. That's not his intent.
Well, it is encroaching on that side that the side that would have a residential property.
Not any more than existing.
Now, oh, agreed, agreed.
Okay, all right. Yep.
I'm just wondering what's kind of over there. I didn't,
Yep.
I'm glad he said Rap City, because I didn't really know where this property was 100% located. So I do understand where it is right now.
Okay.
It's directly across the street from that.
And it is a-
Yeah, I know exactly where you are now.
And the other part of it is a commercial zone, and residential houses are not allowed in the zone. It's not like a mixed use, it's strictly
Commercial.
been commercial, and obviously for the, it being so close to 93 and all the other stores, that's it. Now, we are on the outside of that, I will let you know, there's only one more lot next to me, and then you go into a different zone, but it is intended to be commercial.
Okay.
Brian, any questions? Comments?
I'm just curious, how big is the total building going to be? What's it, like 40 by 40 existing? And you're gonna double that?
No, it's 40 by 30 existing, and we're doubling it 40 by 60.
Also, 2,400 square feet.
40 by 60, yep, that's right. I keep thinking 2,000 for some reason, but you're right. Good
Yeah.
point.
You're a little higher. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not even trying to when I'm doing it.
Okay. Well, I think at this point, so John, are you all set?
I am, thank you.
All right. So at this point, we will close the public discussion and turn it over to the zoning board and deliberate amongst ourselves and talk through the different, let me get out the sheet here, variances. And so as we move into this stage of the meeting, again, I'll open it up. Any thoughts or comments from the board?
So we're not going to be talking about the idea of the percentage of the footprint on this lot right now, correct? That would be for town administrators or whatnot. We're just talking about what would be the variance on that wall, correct?
So the request to change the footprint of the, looking at the application, the non-conforming variance is requested Article 1X, Section 9.3, the zoning ordinance, and that is, I'll read that that section there. A non-conforming use may be expanded only when with the permission of the zoning board and only with the limits of the lot on which it is existing or existed at the time of the passage of the zoning ordinance, which it caused it to become non-conforming. So what he's asking for is to expand the building on the lot, and the expansion will be in an area, a portion of the building will be in an area that is non-conforming. He's requesting to continue that non-conforming, but still use his lot, his property. Now, that is a good point, though, Eric, regarding the percentage of lot. I did not look at that.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be here or if that's in the town planning meeting or something. But, he's talking about doubling his size, and I know there's a percentage you're allowed to build on, and that would be a whole nother deal. I don't know if that would be decided.
I can answer that for you. So
yes.
on that plan, you're actually allowed to do 75% of the lot coverage of impervious surface. I'm below that, and I wouldn't go over that, and that's that. I mean, I'm way below what's allowed. I'm already impervious there. I'm already paved. The whole thing's paved. So
yeah, that's true. It is paved. Yeah.
Oh, geez. All right. Well,
yeah, there's a lot of pavement.
That's a moot point. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, because there is a lot of pavement on that land. I'm just looking at a satellite view, and what the square footage of building that he's requesting is definitely smaller than the blacktop that's existing. So,
Right,
yep.
so we had to tear up some of the blacktop to put the building in there, and we had
Right.
already been to the planning board before, and it says on that plan that we submitted, it shows you the amount of coverage that is allowed and the amount of coverage we have now, and we're actually taking some of the pavement out, so we wouldn't be impacting it anymore.
Okay.
I submitted it on this plan, so I can read it off to you, but that was done by a surveyor, and they went out and measured it and did all the calculations. So I'm within what I'm allowed to do.
Okay. Good question, though, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and run through the 5 variances. But if any of the board members does have a question or comment as we move through, please speak up. So the first one, the variance will not be what he's requesting. What John is requesting will not be contrary to public interests. I agree that it will not be contrary to public interest. I think it is in the not the best interest, but it is not contrary, I guess is the best way to put it. Brian, Eric, do you agree? Or disagree?
Agree.
No, I agree.
He's in a strong business district there, so I would agree.
Okay. The spirit of the ordinance is observed with what he's requesting to do, and that's number 2. And I agree that what the ordinance being the business district, he's developing a business, maintaining the land as a business use in a business district, and I agree that is keeping with the spirit of the ordinance.
Yeah, I would concur. Absolutely.
Okay. Substantial justice, moving on to number 3. Substantial justice is done. Let's see. Each case must be determined. Perhaps only the only guiding rule is that any loss to the individual, the applicant, that is not outweighed by a gain to the general public. So the injustice must be capable of relief by granting a variance that meets other qualifications. So I think to deny his use of his land in this way would be would cause him harm more than it would cause the public harm by denying it.
Yeah.
So, Brian?
I think this property was just an real old home. I think it has a 2-car garage in the back. That whole area seems to be cleaning up real nice. I think this will be a great addition to that project for this town.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree with Brian. Yeah.
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 Moving on to number 4, the values of the surrounding properties are not diminished. I do not think they would be diminished. I think, as the applicant did mention, that as developments are built and things are improved, value increases. So I think it would not diminish the value. So, Brian, Eric?
I guess my only thought is I'm not quite sure what kind of business he's putting in here at this point. If it was a business that would interfere with other businesses around, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
That's a fair comment, but I think that may not be part of this discussion.
Okay.
Okay. Not that I disagree with you, because
no.
If the business that is going in here would be contrary to the public interest, that would be a different discussion. But right now, he's asking for a variance on the setbacks, not type of business.
Okay,
That's my
agreed.
understanding. Is that correctly stated, Leanne?
Yeah, John's gonna answer.
Yeah, so
Okay.
building already is existing as Winnisquam Auto West. I'm getting a little older, so I retired and moved to a smaller location. And it will still be Winnisquam Auto. It still is at this point. So I don't mind answering that question.
Okay.
I will also comment to say, look, I'm 62, so if someone wants to lease it, I'm certainly happy to sit home and collect rent than I am to sell used cars. So that's the truth.
Okay. Did that answer your question, Eric?
Yeah, it was just kind of like on that one line there is like there could be something that would be detrimental, but no, I'm fine. Thank you for
Okay.
answering that question.
Yeah, thank you. And then number 5, the literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would result in an unnecessary hardship. And I think that red triangle speaks for itself. That would be, that's literal enforcement. And that's probably a hardship for any reasonable building in the commercial zone. So,
I
that's
agree.
okay. And Brian?
I mean, I certainly have no problem with this at all. I mean, I look at all John's projects and the other Winnisquam Auto. He's pretty meticulous about his property, so I'm sure whatever this building is, it's going to be a real nice building.
Yeah, I do agree. But just going through the formalities. So we've looked at the variances, discussed each of the 5, and I think we are ready to move towards motion and vote. Does anybody on the board have any final thoughts or comments?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. So if someone would like to make a motion.
What would the motion be sounding like? I make a motion to grant this variance for the setback of this property? I'm not quite sure how to word that.
Yeah, I know that I always struggle with that, but that's basically what we're doing. Leanne, if you'd like to help us out with that.
Follow what the request is for, so you say you grant the variance. Do you have the application in front of you, Eric?
I do. So I could say I would like to propose that we grant the variance requested from article, it looks like that would be 9, section 7 dash, I think that's a 7 or a 9.
It's a 9.3.
9-3 of the zoning ordinance to permit for location of property of 216 Laconia Road, Tilton, owned by John C. Bernard.
Okay.
Right.
Any seconds on that?
I second that.
Okay, that was Brian. All right, so we'll go ahead and move to the vote. So Leanne, you want to proceed through the roll call vote?
So all those in favor of the motion, Eric Businger,
I approve.
Brian Chapman,
I approve.
and Jim Engel.
I also approve. That is unanimous.
I know he was approved, and I guess just for the record, we'll just put it on the record that, and I should have told you before we got this far, we should have given, and I'm sure he doesn't care now, but I knew he didn't care before because we didn't know if we'd have quorum, that he should have had the option to wait for a 4th member. Usually you ask oversight, it's not a big deal, but I just want to be on the record that he had verbally waived that to me earlier, so I'll have Janice just put it in the notes that he was okay with 3 members. Okay, Jim?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a good point. All right, so that is everything. There's no other business? Go ahead, John.
I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, Brian, Jim, and Eric for being here tonight and for looking at this in the logical eyes and making this.
Thank you.
Luck, John.
Yep. All right, Leanne, any other business?
We
All right.
probably next time, so I'll make sure I make it clear. So,
Okay. Sounds good. So just to confirm, that's 6 o'clock next month in Town Hall.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Yeah, anybody motion to adjourn? Or I'll make a motion to adjourn. Any seconds?
There you go. I second that, a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
In favor?
In favor?
Yep,
And
in favor.
unanimous. Meeting
Hey,
adjourned.
guys.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Here, there's a walk. Maybe, go back, but I can't go back. So I-
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we're not gonna change the use of what we already have.
Right, additional hours anyway. Right.
I don't even know if I have to.
This conference will now be recorded.
Granted, all I'm doing is expansion of the
I know.
existing thing.
And